So, earlier today I did some Go Trader. I'm gonna continue now. I had to do some stuff in real life, and yeah, it's time to continue with the Rykad system. The game is really loud for me at the moment. I'm not sure if that's a me thing or it seems to be okay now. Just a second. Well, of course, the moment I go live, people start messaging me. Nice. Let's see. It gave me a prompt that I can now visit other areas on the ship, so Sector Bionica. Okay. I don't remember these at all. This one actually sounds interesting. The implantation throne is majestic in its antiquity. The metal bench, surrounded by countless injectors, manipulators, and fit screens, leave no doubt as to its purpose. The very nature of this machine is designed to transform living bodies by fusing them with blessed iron. Even to the naked eye, it is clear that this machine is ailing, grievously so. The manipulator's segmented tubes hang limply, bleeding unduant, while the dust lumens are only dimly illuminated. As the tech priests try to revive the relic, hey mate, each swing of their sensor is like a pendulum, ticking down the moments until the throne untimely demise. Okay. Hi, Victotum Genius Denrock. Your lordship, thank you for gracing this sector Bionica with your presence. You're already acquainted with Drive's master Zira Talar. It is she who has been tending to the ancient relic. She is here to convey the wretchedness of our current position. The Tepi slowly extends her mechadendrites, twisting them in an intricate gesture of greeting. Lord Captain, the blessed machine spirit that dwells within the throne is fading. I and many grieving tech priests have been performing unending sacraments of tech healing, prayers of operational benediction on this shrine. But even our devotions are merely staving off the inevitable. This stone is a creation of the Omnissiah made centuries ago. Even before the unholy desecration of the relic, we were barely able to propitiate its ancient machine spirit to perform sacred augmentation procedures. Many litanies and operation protocols did not survive through the ages. Now, with the demise of the keepers of the implementation throne during the mutiny, they have been lost forever. This sacred machine must be saved at all costs. What makes this machine so important? It is unique, one of a kind. Okay, the tech priest's optical augments flash, and surprisingly fervor creeps into her voice. In the Logis Annals of the Adeptus Mechanicus, this stone is identified as a shrine capable of autonomous augmentation rituals. Its loss is unacceptable, and any condoning of it is sacrilege. Okay. In addition, only the Rogue Trader or persons authorized by the Rogue Trader may use it. It is an valuable investment in your longevity and bodily integrity. How were the relics damaged? The high factotum clears his throat and grimaces. During the uprising instigated by the rebellious master who whispers, the sector Bionica was besieged. The janitors and Medicaid officers heroically defended the throne, but eventually the rebels broke through. Most of the defenders fell in battle and many machines were lost or damaged. Many were able to be restored, but the throne was particularly badly damaged. Okay. What sacraments can the throne perform? The shrine is capable of autonomous healing flesh and blessing it with augmentations under the supervision of a knowledgeable janitor. Complex procedures can be performed with unimaginable speed and precision, and stimulants administered in the required proportions and combinations. It is a true miracle of the Omnissiah. Okay, so how do we save this guy? Only a servant of the machine god, endowed with a high rank of janitor extremis, first in all the necessary rituals and learned in the mystical currents of the motive force, can perform the reparative sacraments and reanimate this mechanism. The only place where one might find such a servant is on the cloistered station of Altar Tempium Calixis X-17. Isn't that the station I'm just outside of? To the best of my knowledge, the cloister Mrs. Oh no, it's Furibunda system, okay. Mrs. Talar is referring to is located in the Furibunda system. Its citizens are not well disposed to communicate with the lady. I'm guessing, I have no clue how to pronounce that word. But I am willing to leverage every diplomatic connection I possess to get an audience with the station's clergy. Hey, Kiwi. Denok, I'll rely on your connections. The Druismaster Fox Grill emits a binaric array of thanks. The High Factotum adjusts his monocle with a satisfied look. I thank you for your favor, your lordship. Before you depart the sector Bionica, I would also like to present you Janitor Majorius Ferens and 5th Sector Jace Martinex. They are currently performing an urgent procedure and therefore were unable to attend the inspection in person, but I am certain they will receive the Gokstader visit as a great honor if you'll follow me. Okay. This is how I also deal with servers in real life. I just keep swinging a pendulum. Okay. It's so cool. Look, I can do magic. Oh, see you, Kiwi. The smell of medical supplies and weak cries of pain fill the cold air. Two figures stand over an operating table. The patient lying upon it is bound in place, and his head is soaked in blood. A woman in uniform is desperately trying to force her way to the table. Please help my son. In the name of the Golden Throne, I know you can. Gnota. What kind of name is Gnota? Like, let's be honest. Has endured so much. The lined face of a middle deck veteran is contorted with grief. Every word she speaks comes out in a long moan. Oh. 5th Sector Martinex. She does have an icon. Like, why do certain people not have icons? And okay. Your Lordship. The Medicaid officer dressed in protective attire briefly looks away from the table to welcome you with a solemn address. 5th Sector Jace Martinex at your service. The Goktader's visit is a momentous event for the Sector Bionica. Will you grant us the honor of observing the operation? The hunched tech priest on the opposite side of the table erupts in a furious binaric thrill as he struggles to immobilize the thrashing and moaning patient. After a time, he likewise turns his metal-plated face to you. The life form, Janitor Majoris Ferens, welcomes Lord Captain Seth von Valencians. I second my colleague's statement. Tell me about the operation. Lord Captain, our guiding light, my son Gnotak, because that's such an easy name to pronounce, is known as Little No. Because all he says is no. He's injured and dying. I carried him here in my arms on my own, so the chirurgeons could pull him from the brink. Please don't leave us. The woman's gaze swings from you to the chirurgeons and back again. Her mental state is obviously unstable. Still working the injector, Martinex turns his head to you. This young man has suffered a serious head injury that requires immediate intervention. The janitor, Majorius, and I are attempting to stop the flesh from dying off while simultaneously deciding on a strategy for further treatment. Examine the patient. The man chained to the bed is missing the top part of his skull. The moist pink contents glisten in the lumen light. The patient is conscious. His eyes are open and his parched lips are constantly moving as he mumbles. The man's terrified gaze meets yours and he falls silent. How curious. It seems the Goktader's presence is indeed influencing the patient's state of mind. Martinex looks back at you with interest. Whether it is a manifestation of devout faith in his anointed or a bizarre form of delusion, it can only be to our benefit. Whatever you are doing, your lordship, please continue. Yes, I'll I'll keep on staring at his moist brain while it's exposed. That's what I'm best at. That is what my skill set is best used for. Yummy, yummy, moist brain. Continue to look at the patient. Yes, smile at the patient. Oh yeah, your brain, it's out. Address the patient. Your mother is here at Knatek, and she is very worried about you. Hold on for her. Address the patient. I have heard that a good story can dull the pain. Would you like me to tell you about my adventures? On one occasion. On look away. Hey, Adeline, welcome back. And yes, my throat is entirely fine. I'm used to yapping, so. Look away. Seeing to the needs of a maimed man is a tedious work, and deserving of the rogue trader's attention. Do your duty as you see fit. I am gonna address the patient. The patient's clouded gaze is locked onto the woman's face. The corners of his parted lips stretch into the faint semblance of a smile. His mother stares back, almost without blinking. Make the sign of the Aquila. Okay. I have heard a good story. Yes, I've seen that one. I am the rogue trader, not a soul. How much longer do you expect me to entertain him? I'm gonna tell him a story. You don't need to finish the tale. A moment later, the two people leaning over the patient simultaneously raise their instruments, and in a colorless voice, the tech priest proclaims, registering the complete stabilization of the life form's condition. Internal cortical damage has been treated. Requesting closure of the chalet and transfer of the victim to B-class stimulants. He will live, but the stimulants won't replace that part of his brain. If we implant the sacred cortical augment in his skull, it will restore his lost ability to think and act. Lord Captain, please, your subject has a genuine need for this augmentation. This constitutes a violation of the sacred directives. The value of an individual life form is incomparably less than the value of the sacred technology required. Augments of the specific class are rare and are restricted to senior officers. Thus dictate the regulations of the Sector Bionica. Okay, who is this man? An expendable life form to be utilized in void battles, one of thousands. A soldier from a Voidsman combat unit and a devoted servant of the Emperor, Lord Captain. This young man has been fighting for his life, even through horrendous pain. If you allow the augmentation to be installed, his perseverance will become an example for others to emulate. My only son, he's serving in a void unit. I was the one who told him to go there. My poor girl, like, come on, that name. Oh. That's the woman from behind the Medicaid officers. How was he injured? In the last void battle, Lord Captain, where he barely survived his injuries. He has suffered a few healing attempts from charlatans on the lower decks and endured a long road to come here. However, no weapon can destroy the devotion and fortitude of a true servant of the God Emperor. Oh. True devotion is revealed not in the servant's life, but in their death. So teach the tenets of the web. With a discreet motion, Kimball touches the bloodstained cloth on a bloodstain on the wounded man's head, and draws a crimson sign upon the metal of the cloth. What are your respective proposals? I understand that my opinion may strike you as strange, for the mere fact that this poor soul has found its way to the Sector Bionica might itself be regarded as a blessing. Yet hear me out. The installation of a cortical augmentation will restore the patient to health, serving as an example for the rest of us through his heroism. This will inspire the people and strengthen their faith in the Lord Captain, and let them know that the Rogue Captain's Rogue Trader's mercy will not abandon them in the hour of need. Oh god, I really hate tech priests and their English. The life form on the operating table is easily replaceable. It does not possess any substantial functional value. Therefore, installation of the implant would be devoid of sense. Proposing replacement of lost function by means of a Class B powder stimulants. The life form will have limited viability and will be gifted an optimal termination period with partial functionality. I have made a decision. Okay, fit the augment. This man can do without expensive augments. I'm not here to get involved in a medical dispute. Settle this without me. I'm gonna give him the augment. We hear and obey, Lord Captain. Martinex offers you a graceful bow. I will see to the implementation at once. And the esteemed servant of the Omnissiah will assist me in this procedure. The Janitor Majoris' response in Binharik carries a distinct tone of displeasure. Ignoring his colleague's reaction, the 5th sector begins inserting thin augmentation spikes into the patient's brain. With uncanny precision. Before long, the iron plate of the cortical implant replaces the damaged bone with a resounding crunch. And yeah, I can't help my accent that much. In silence, you hear the soft sobs of a woman. Gnotek's mother is weeping helplessly, furiously wiping her eyes with her hand, but now a smile of relief lights up her face. Thank you, your lordship. I will remember your intercession for the rest of my life and pray for your good fortune. Okay, well, thank you. Well, I'm glad that you like my accent. I always hated it, to be honest. Oh god, this looks like the most horrible place to be in. Can you imagine having to go here and lie in a bed like that? It's like just a metal sheet. Oh, I see goods. Corpse starch rations. So yummy. As the name suggests, corpse starch is actually made of corpses, so yeah. Yeah, I kind of need to talk slower, I know. Sometimes I also get a little bit impatient. Janitor ferns. The tech priest stares at you with a single visor. Amidst a tangle of metal and wires, the foxcaster replacing his mouth hisses. Scanning lifeform. Visit registered. Welcome to the Sector Bionica, Lord Captain. You will be received by Janitor Majoris Ferens. The tech priest turns, and you suddenly realize that he was standing with his back to you. The front of his head is covered in blinking visors. With the highest priority, I notify the Lord Captain that the sacred Archaeotech is still in agonal state, caused by the malicious actions of the rebels. The functionality of the Sector Bionica is limited. The life form Janitor Majoris Ferens humbly awaits your assistance in purifying the reliquary mechanisms. In all honesty, the tech priests are the worst, because let's be honest, who uses these words? Like half the time I'm kind of like, how the fuck am I supposed to pronounce this? Why do you care so much about curing the throne's machine sickness? Deep Boss notes, carrying genuine reverence rumble in the Ferences his. I am inclined to conclude that the Archaeotech augmentation machine harbors a spirit that blesses all things around it with the grace of the Omnissiah. The janitor sweeps a mechadendrite, like that's not even a normal word, over the space around him. Its nodes and pistons are filled with the wisdom of the machine god, unfathomable to humble adepts, and if entropy consumes the spirit entirely, such wisdom will be lost. While the body of the machine remains in dysfunction, its spirit suffers from idleness. The motive force cannot nourish it, and its lenses remain blind. Litanies and rituals keep such an ancient creation of the Omnissiah from fading away completely. But there are only palliative measures. And if the spirit abandons its receptacle, the Sector Bionica will fall into decay. For this relic serves the same function as the heart does in human life forms. Okay. Hey Nova, ben doen. Tell me about the Sector Bionica. The Sector Bionica performs the repair and installation of sacred augments for those who demonstrate the most efficient services to the ship. Okay. What does a Janitor Majoris do? Those bearing the rank of Janitor bestow blessings on the installation, consecration, and maintenance of the augments, thus drawing the feeble bodies of humanity closer to maximum efficiency, pleasing to the Omnissiah. I have read plenty of good fantasy books, but the advantage of fantasy books is that I generally don't narrate them, so I don't have to constantly say the words. So one of the things I noticed is that sometimes, as a foreign person, so a non-native English speaker, you will read a word before you ever hear it, and in your head you're like, oh, it must be pronounced this way. And then when you actually hear the word, you're like, how? Why is it pronounced this way? It's the same with like names in the UK. Like certain town names, city names, you name it, have such weird names. And yes, this definitely helping me with my pronunciation as well, because sometimes I hear the word being said later on, and then I'm like, oh, so that's how you say it. So yeah, it's complicated. So yeah, you work in tandem with the vivisector, don't you? I, I deem the result of your scan to be accurate. Like scan. The vivisector performs the functions of preparing the carrier for installation of the maximum efficiency configuration. Okay, who makes the final decisions during procedures? The opinion of the vivisector lifeform carries the most weight. The request for a review of the chain of command has not been granted. Okay. I wish to know more about you. Given your inability to conduct a scan, I will respond to a limited set of of inquiries. Um, let's see. You and Martinix did not get along. Scanning. Response affirmative. The vivisector lifeform regrettably ignores the sacred requirements of efficiency in the service of the Omnissiah, attributing it to rudimentary experiences. How did you come to serve in the Sector Bionica? I maximize the efficiency of the life forms, serving within the sacred manufactorum on Kiava Gamma. By the blessings of the Omnissiah, I ascended to the janitor rank and was deployed to this flagship. My proficiency in installing augments was appraised as exceptional by the previous rogue trader. Nice. Are the tech priests of the Omnissiah ever allowed to work with living flesh? I thought you hold it in contempt. Flesh is weak, but its efficiency can be improved with blessed metal. According to the directives of the Omnissiah, pivotal lifeforms, like pivotal mechanisms, must withstand maximum stress and produce the best results. My duty lies in improving them. Okay. Well, I must take my leave. A brief thrill of farewell comes from the fox. The janitor turns away, but the visor on the back of his head keeps watching you. Nice.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
I have the feeling he does not trust me. Imagine having to do this all day.
The machine god grants me insight.
Remote Revitalizer, MK Officer. The range at which medikits and stimulants can be used is increased by +2. Oh, that's kind of cool. Augmentation. You have obtained an augment. They cannot be equipped like weapons or gears. To insert it into the body, you need to use an implantation tone. Okay.
Let us not dawdle.
Hey, Nova. It's an interesting zone, though. Oh god, the sounds. Ugh. I'm getting goosebumps from the sound. Ugh. Here we have Martinex. A tall wisp of a man hurriedly turns to you. He is wearing an apron covered with dark splotches, and his thin arms are sheeted up to the elbow in medical gloves. Your Lordship, I apologize for my appearance. Well, yeah. The Medicaid officer bows low. My name is Jace Martinex, and I serve as Fifth Sector in the Sector Bionica. It is an untold honor to welcome you to our deck. First of all, allow me to express my gratitude for permitting me to place a cortical implant in the injured man. Thanks to your mercy, one more person has been able to continue his service to the God Emperor. The Fifth Sector makes the sign of the Aquila with his hands and bows to you again, even more deeply than before. Firstly, I must boldly warn you that until the relic that powers the Sector Bionica with the miraculous knowledge of the Omnissiah is healed, to my deepest sorrow, the installation of the sacred implants cannot be performed. Okay? For all his florid speech, more typical of a noble than a chirurgeon, Martinex speaks with genuine sadness. Why is the implementation tone so important to you? It is probably a consequence of my years of practice amongst the janitors. The chirurgeon listens with genuine sadness to the lilting sounds of the Binharic hymn sung by the technomats to keep the ancient machine alive. I learned much of the crafts of healing from them, and after I found myself in the Sector Bionica, the machine spirit that inhabits this relic became my mentor. Okay? The artistry with which this machine joins flesh and sacred metal is so laborious and delicate that no human can replicate its efforts. Many Medicaid officers here have accomplished great things in their practice, but these successes are only crude imitations of the healing sacraments performed by the throne on their patients. Its laws would rob the Sector Bionica of its soul, Lord Captain. We cannot allow that to happen. Okay, now tell me about the Sector. The Sector Bionica is a special part of the Medicaid facility where we employ augments and implants to give life back to those who have been irreparably injured. We replace lost organs with consecrated technologies and offer the maimed the chance to serve the God Emperor once more. The sector's assistants and Medicaid officers report to me, while its tech priests report to Janitor Ferenc. Yeah, for the Emperor. And what happened to Sanguinus was still is still sad. I was actually recently watching like Instagram reels about the Last Stand. Yeah, I recently got on to changing my entire Instagram algorithm into Warhammer stuff. So it's not good for me. It's not good for my social life. It's just mostly Warhammer. What does the Fifth Sector do? My primary task is to heal the flesh, Lord Captain. I oversee the processes involved in the workings of the body, and in the case of augments, how well they are joined to the flesh. Okay. You might say I make sure that the metal of the Omnissiah becomes a true extension of the living body. The chirurgeon raises his chin proudly. You work in tandem with the janitor, don't you? That's right. Ferenc is in the mutual business of coaxing machine spirits with the most sophisticated augments. Martinex's face twists into a strange expression. Who makes the final decision? Oh, who makes the final decision? I'm in charge of the Sector Bionica. I do not mean to belittle the servants of the Adeptus Mechanicus in general, and certainly not Ferenc in particular, but they have much to learn from the Officio Medicae when it comes to healing. Martinex's voice sounds undeniably smug. Tell me about yourself. I'm delighted to have earned your attention, gracious Lord Captain. What exactly do you wish to know? I am gonna ask about Ferenc as well, like you and Ferenc do not get along. Persuasion test. Succeeded. For a second, Martinex's impenetrable friendly tone cracks, and he sighs waspishly. Yes, Lord Captain, sometimes we seriously disagree. Ferenc believes that replacing flesh with iron and receiving the blessing of the Omnissiah is the privilege of a few. I, on the other hand, make no distinction between servants of the God Emperor. Every faithful soul deserves a chance to continue working for the glory of humanity. I'm afraid it's not always easy for Ferenc and I to find a compromise. How did you come to serve on the flagship? How did you become a Vivisector? To be honest, Vivisector is a cool job title. I come from a noble line on Janus. Family legend has it that my ancestors knew the secret of the planet's terraforming technology. I, on the other hand, have chosen the path that allows me to transform the person rather than the planet. Advanced terraforming in a way. I can see the logic. Augmentation makes humanity stronger than any phenomenon in nature. Isn't that what the God Emperor wants us to be? Why do tech priests permit you to work alongside them? Augmetics are their preserve, are they not? An astute observation, Lord Captain. I am proud to tell you that I had the honor of serving alongside members of the Adeptus Mechanicus back on my home planet. Among the tech priests of Janus, there are entire divisions headed by janitors. The knowledge of the Officio Medicae was essential during more complicated procedures. For the sacred gamut of janitors does not include, why does it not surprise me, tending to the patient's mortal bodies. This does not surprise me at all. That is when an experienced Medicae must be brought into the ritual. And thus we found some common ground. I must stress that the esteemed janitors do not permit me direct access to the machines, since none but they themselves are versed in the mysteries of operating them. My purview is limited to the organic aspect. I must take my leave. Take care of yourself, Lord Captain. I will do so.
I always keep my options open.
Well, this must be a new sector because I have like no memory of this sector at all. This is the first time I have been here, I think. The Astropathic Chapel. I'd rather have Cassia with me. Sorry, Adera, but I don't like you a lot. It's a constant talk about whispers and voices.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
The throne is furnished with a conductive charge supply and can be turned into an instrument of execution at any moment.
How fascinating. To me, the Immaterium is made of colors, but to the astropaths who dwell in this chapel, it is music.
Cursed music. Why do the astropaths not fill this place with litanies in his name instead?
Go and do logic.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
The machine uses its messy quills to commit the astropath's whispers to paper, then sorts the resulting raw mental images based on their meaning. Okay. What's this? The back of the throne is smeared with something dark red and old. I'm guessing it's
Rise
blood.
to the top, or get left in the dust.
But why can I still do logic here? So why is she in front? Formation. I prefer having Abelard in front. The last beacon cannot be saved from the 13th storm. The lapses father beloved son will open his yawning maw. Okay. Oblivion is inevitable. After the boundless sunset comes the horrific sunrise, brought forth into a wailing world from the womb of. Okay? And now they're executed.
snot dawdle.
Underneath the grill, you can see enormous outlines of formidable machines in the greenest haze. What is my strength? How do you mean? Endless stream of symbols fills the paper tapes. Okay. Oh, you meant like
Calculations are for commoners. I don't make mistakes. I make profitable learning
it
experiences.
says 30 on my main character. Do I have one with higher? No, I do not. Logic. Once the text is ready for final interpretation, the compiler sends it to the choir master. Okay. Choir master along with a list of meanings for the known
Keep
images.
your wits about you.
Yeah, I don't think I'm that far. I'm still in the Rykad system. You can see there's enormous reels direct paper tapes containing unprocessed text into the chapel's depths after blessing the paper with an imprint of sacred cogs. Okay. To be honest, I think this is a really pretty image.
I always keep my options open.
Zachary Wise, okay. Choir Master Zachary Wise, a tall old man in a long green robe, stands motionless in front of a cogitator. The closer you approach, the clearer you can hear his continuous unintelligible whisper. You're about to call his name when he falls silent sharply and turns towards you first. Lord Captain. A visit from the Rogue Trader is an honor for us. Like other astropods at the chapel, the choir master's eyes are bandaged over with time-worn scrolls of sacred manuscripts. Nevertheless, you cannot shake the feeling that his otherworldly, glowing gaze is studying you keenly. How can I be of use, your lordship? Imperium, Lord Cetastic seated. Sanctioning is a brutal procedure, one which robs every astropod of the gift of sight. But in return, they gain a new kind of vision that allows them to see what ordinary people cannot. Tell me about the astropathic choir. Of course, Lord Captain. Is there anything specific you would like to know? What is this place? To us astropods, this place is our cradle and our grave, Lord Captain. You are at the conflux of every secret missive, every order of prime importance, every scheme being plotted behind the scene. You are at a place where each of your loyal astropods is ready to lay down their life for crumbs of information, if that is your wish. We receive and send messages. For hours turning into days, we wander the dark depths of the Immaterium, carrying our voices through the warp's eternal night, bringing it to our comrades in some remote refuge, accepting the voices, signals, and missives of others into our own abode. Those are most often meant for you, your lordship, and at times they are meant for no one. Point to the mechanical drum. What device is this? It is the sacred compiler that helps us record, store, and to an extent unriddle messages. The astropods first receive these messages in the form of muddled images, dictating what they see to the machine, which logs their every word. From the reels of the receivers on the ceiling, the machine-recorded words are routed through lines under the floor into transcribers, and then the thesaurus core. This core is the most important part of the mechanism, as it contains a vast catalog of various symbols and methods for their interpretation. The compiler matches the images in the text against its data and forwards the result to the central cogitator and myself, so that I can begin the ritual of decoding. I know of no other choir that possesses so wise a mechanism, and I praise the God Emperor for its existence. However, while the compiler hastens the extraction of unintelligible meaning from perplexing imagery, an astropath must still open their mind to interpretation, which is no less perilous than the guides of receiving or sending an astropathic message. If your machine knows the meaning of the symbols, why can't it decode the messages itself? Regrettably for us all, your lordship, astropathic messages are not ciphered dispatches, but rather psychic imprints containing information. Only an astropath can read the entirety of something created through the medium of the warp. Furthermore, as messages pass through the immaterium, they might become distorted by malevolent intent. It falls to your servants alone to shield their minds with faith and separate the true meaning from the influence of the ruinous powers. So if you wanted to hide certain information from me, you could. Wise's face twists into a bitter grimace. My duty is to shield you from the monstrous communications that filter through the warp. The screams of the Emperor's loyal servants, centuries dead by now. The nightmarish, maddening images of the Sea of Souls. The cursed symbols that caused astropaths to convulse in violent fits of frenzy. The messages from abominations in search of weak minds to devour. Concealing all of that from you is my duty. Okay. How does one become an astropath? We were all part of the Imperial Tide once. Psychers delivered to Terra on the Black Ships, but only a few of the candidates had what it took to study astropathy. Fewer still successfully completed the grueling training to be eligible for soul binding, and almost none survived the initiation. He throws his head back. We were given the privilege to behold the Emperor's light, a light flawless and searing. A pious smile visits his lips. That changes you. It wounds you irreparably. It takes your eyesight, but in exchange, you commune with greatness. His presence in our soul fortifies them as we stand against malicious powers. After the ritual, an astropath is assigned their position, at this or that adeptus, an astropathic relay or a ship. More often than not, our first place of service is also our last. If something happens to your choir, where can I find new astropaths? Good question. The expression on his wrinkled face got even more serious. It would be more on point to say when something happens. The Emperor's blessing protects us from the warp's various influences. However, there are horrors dwelling in the void for which even the defense would be no obstacle, especially if one spends as much time in their company as we do. There's only one way to procure astropaths, and that is through the Adeptus Administratum. Luck permitting, unattached astropaths from the sector will be posted to the ship. Ones who, for whatever reason, have lost their place of service. Failing that, the request will go to Terra, and we will have to wait a long time. That said, there are other options. Blasphemous, forbidden options. The choir master grimaces. Unsanctioned psychers. Unprotected and broken souls who seldom live past their first few seances. But even those would do, should the God Emperor put our souls through severe trials. And judging by how rabid the warp has been of late, by the number of dead astropaths, those trials will be upon us sooner than our prayers could reach Terra. Nice. That odd noise inside the chapel, does it not bother you? The choir master sighs and makes the sign of the Aquila. May the God Emperor rest his soul and protect him from the ruinous powers. Powers' tenacious claws. That was the 5th one this month. Our younger voices cannot handle the warp storms raging in the expanse, and end up losing their minds. He adds, bearably audibly, if they are lucky. Something has afoot on the other side of the maw, Lord Captain. Something infinitely sinister. Something disastrous. The scraps of mental images that reach us from the Imperium carry the mark of doom. The images emanating from there are like a beast bearing its teeth. Lord Warp has succeeded. You have heard accounts of disturbances in the warp affecting psychers, especially astropaths, who delve most deeply into the Immaterium. But there have been more and more alarming stories of late. Something is raging in the warp. Something that poses a peculiar threat to those with psychic powers. That almost does not bother you. On the contrary, Lord Captain, it's a mental focusing technique used by the flagship's choir, one that I invented myself. This music was written by an osteopath. What my charges and I hear in it is not what ordinary people hear. Its true depth and beauty cannot be fathomed without the Emperor's blessing. The music protects her mind from rudimentary thoughts, purifies and sharpens them. But above all else, it serves as a beacon of sorts amidst the tumultuous sea of souls. A thread to lead us home from the deadly maze. Requires iconoclast follower. You must tend to your choir. I shall have good food, recaf, and relaxing balms delivered. I appreciate your concern. Perhaps these small indulgences will give them the strength and save someone's life. Nice. We will speak later, choir master. I have other business to attend to. Goodbye, your lordship. Well, interesting place.
I always have a backup plan.
Let's go to your shrine. Okay.
What do we have here?
A powerful rests inside the glass. The inscription on the reliquary reads, I am Wrath, I am the cleansing. Whoever wields me walks in the footsteps of Furia. Okay.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Okay, as soon as you step off it, it goes away. Lord Imperium.
Success is the only outcome I accept.
A lanky initiate is leaning over the cogitator, an expression of extreme mental effort on his face, his fish-like brown eyes peering into the screen. Grant me understanding, master. Grant me wisdom. He winces as you approach. Your lordship, how can I be of service? Who are you and what do you do here? I am Clotus, junior cleric. I stored recordings from the Shrine Confessional to pass on to the higher-ranking clergy. Tell me about this confessional. Our parishioners come here to repent, to share their innermost thoughts and observations of their neighbors. The sacred machine records all confessions and alters the voices beyond recognition. Okay? Is there a way to find out who made which confession? There is not. Clotus shakes his head resolutely. That would undermine the usefulness of it. The first prototype wasn't anonymous, so those confessions might as well have been carbon copies of each other. Everyone was impeccably diligent and pious and whatnot, but as soon as the machine spirit started keeping the name secret, the parishioners opened up. Good thinking making it anonymous. Keep up the fine work. I will endeavor to do so, your lordship. It appears you are having difficulties. Nothing escapes your lordship's notice, and as it so happens, I am struggling to categorize 3 rather peculiar confessions. I wouldn't have dared tell you about them, but I think they might have been left by senior officers, which would make it a matter of the highest order, one that is far beyond my meager understanding. Okay? These confessions, you see, are far from being examples of pious conformity. I dread the very thought of dissent or heresy poisoning the minds of some of the most eminent members of the crew, but I cannot change what I heard. He bows his head in reverence. I cannot share this with anyone but the Emperor's anointed, nor can I allow anyone but your lordship to listen to these messages and protected by the secrecy of confession. What makes you think these confessions were made by senior officers? These parishioners are well spoken, meaning they are used to addressing an audience. Perhaps they issue orders and are vested with power. And, well, after categorizing so many confessions, I have learned to notice the subtle differences between them. Okay, let me hear them. Let's go for the first one. One question has stayed with me for years. Why are some destined to perish in the warp, while others must go on and go on living and preserve the memory of the dead? Worthier and more luminous souls have been lost, and yet I'm still here. I decided against distorting the recording, but you're confident that the speaker is male. The orphans on the ship have already been provided with the bare essentials, but every so often I consider increasing their rations and ordering more sets of clothes for them. That will not replace the families they lost, but it will improve their lives somewhat, especially given that the ship has enough resources to cover that comparably trivial expense. Despite the poor sound quality, you determined the voice to be male. Okay. You do not know who on the ship is in charge of the orphans, if anyone. Okay. Coded message. Lob-eared clappers display a high degree of socialization both among their kind and towards their owners. These animals adjust well to void ship's lower gravity since it is similar to their homeworld conditions. Lob-eared clapper meat is edible, should necessity demand it. The voice sounds muffled, as though from beyond a thick layer of glass, but it's unmistakably a woman's. I'm curious to know who left these confessions. I will seek them out. I suppose those confessions truly are special if your lordship is giving them his personal attention. The initiate bows. Never would I have imagined the Goktail himself coming all this way. I labor for the glory of the Emperor in House von Valencius. Well, at least he's nice.
Let us not dawdle.
You're a cider player, the one you know best. The Aquila Anima, a fragment of the Cathedral of Eternal Redemption. Okay. So this place is not a thing you have to
Always
stand on.
keep your eye on the prize.
An expected result.
Not initiate. The broad-shouldered young priest makes a sign of the Aquila. The Emperor protects your lordship. How may I be of service? Well, who are you? Initiate seek, your lordship. I recite prayers and help Confessor Edelbart with the rites. Okay. What is this relic next to you? Initiate looks over the sarcophagus. The skeleton within is clutching an orb made up of many tightly fitted hoops covering in glyphs. A mysterious object, but undeniably a holy one. It was donated by a group of pilgrims who studied the legacy of the great missionary Nadine Alenikov. They believed there was something inside that only someone truly righteous was meant to have. One of the pilgrims was so desperate to witness the moment of the orb's opening that they bequeathed their body to us. A riddle? Cassius' eyes light up with curiosity. It would be most interesting to learn what is stored inside, Lord Captain. Would you like to try opening this orb? You have any ideas on how to open this orb? One of your predecessors was the last to attempt solving this galaxy mystery. It happened a long time ago, before Lady Theodora was born, that's all I know. Why not just disassemble it? To damage a sacred relic is an unthinkable crime, and to use force to bypass the test of wisdom and faith it contains is terrible blasphemy. Open the reliquary. I'm going to solve the mystery of the orb. The initiate opens the lock and hands you the orb. Someone has already moved the hoops around it, trying to arrange the letters into meaningful sentences. It would only take a few more rotations for the orb to split cleanly into 4 parts, each with its own question. The answer should presumably be formed using adjoining hoops. Okay? Form the questions in the orb's first quarter. My light reaches everywhere. The greedy will see me in gold, the scholars in humanity's cradle, and only the righteous will see me in their soul. Yeah. I had to quit for dinner and such. So if I had been going on the entire time, I would have most likely been dead at this point. Um, my light reaches everywhere. Well, that could only be the Emperor. Hmm. For better or worse, something clicks inside the orb. Form the question in the second quarter. I am within every human, and my loss is feared. For without me comes the end. But give me to the Emperor, and you will be eternal. Hmm. Oh, it's not fate. It's not blood. It's either life or soul. Oh. Life isn't within. Okay, I'm gonna say soul. And then the soft click comes from inside the orb. Can I actually? No, I can't. Okay, let's do the third. I am poison. I am perdition. I am disgrace. Burn me down. Eradicate me or perish, rejected by the Emperor. I would say weakness. In your body, mind, and soul, you must possess me. I am no mere absence of stains, and bring you closer to him. Okay. Are there more hints here?
I always keep my
Maybe
options open.
the NPCs have. No. He doesn't have like an additional line or something. In case something happens if I fail again. No, that wasn't it either. Hmm. Hmm. How often can I try this? I mean, the greedy will see me in gold, the scholars in humanity's cradle, earth, but only the righteous will see me in soul. I'm guessing that's the throne. Hmm. What if this one is long? Still think this is thumb. Oh boy. Okay. So, blood was the answer, not like soul or life. Okay. So the one that I immediately said like it isn't. The initiate starts with the relic in your hand, stunned. How strange and exciting is it? It is to behold the holy object that has lain hidden from the eyes for so many. Like, in all honesty, if people struggle with this for years or eons, that's kind of bad because it's just 4 questions. And if you can keep on trying it, you can try all combinations. Truly, it is a great day upon which the Gog Trader himself has revealed the legacy of great missionaries to us all. Like, anyone could have, like, gotten this.
Keep your wits about you.
They fear to look at me because of my appearance. I fear to look at them because of their rotten-colored souls. I'll guide your vessel and lead you on your way.
Whisper and be heard. The web beckons.
Okay, that's another position to stand in. This is not what I wanted to do. How come it's 0 lights now?
Do you require an audience?
I have a nose for profit and the taste for adventure.
It took me 20 minutes to learn how to connect headphones. Oof. Are they like special headphones or? Okay, so pressing the buttons in the wrong order is an issue. Okay, so the first one's done.
Fate and fortune favor the bold.
Okay, that's 2 done.
The dead know nothing, and neither do the ignorant.
Sometimes you consult the appropriate treatise on Tactica Imperialis and weigh every step. Sometimes, though, you just fire your biggest cannon and save the day.
I wish I could fire my biggest cannon right now.
Oh, This master-crafted patellar augment is not fit for a servitor.
I'm restless.
Nice.
This could be an opportunity.
Blessed be the road that we take.
I'm at your service.
No sleep, no rest. Only duty, only
Let us
death.
not dawdle.
I have no clue why it was so easy, but unquenchable fury. Confessor Adelbert, a plump, rosy-cheeked old man, is lighting candles, taking his time with each. Glints of fire dance on his heavy golden aquila, and in his light blue eyes as he addresses you, smiling. The Emperor protects your lordship. Are you here to pray or have mundane matters brought you to me? There is an incredibly profound quality to his voice, and he speaks with mesmerizing timbre. Like, I have no clue. Tell me, Adelbert, do you visit the shrine confessionally to repent as the other officers do? Why, I always find time for penance on my morning and evening shifts for your lordship. The orphans on the ship have already been provided with the bare essentials, have they not? Do you mean spiritual nourishments? It is ever in short supply. Those children who are literate could use new prayer books and hagiographies for their own perusal, and to read to the others. Why are some destined to perish in the war while others must go on living? An irrelevant question. His face takes on an expression of fathomless wisdom and calm. Our fates are in the Emperor's hands, and he does as his plans require. I see, it wasn't you. For the moment I thought you had to confess, but now I see you have taken on the role of cleric yourself. May the Emperor guide you on your quest for answers. I would like to find out more about this place. I could talk about the reliquary chapel for hours, okay? Is this the only place of worship on the ship? Why, no, there are multiple sancta on every deck, where your subjects pray fervently and the clergy keeps a close watch on the firmness of their faith. This, on the other hand, he gestures around at the glittering reliquary, is the holiest of holy places, where only the noblest amongst your servants are permitted to set foot. I want those on other decks to be able to partake of this exhibit as well. Yeah, I don't think that's smart. Where does this collection of sacred relics come from? Every relic we have here was either arduously tracked down by your ancestors, captured in battle against the faithless, or received as a gift for glorious deeds. A show of loyalty for the Emperor, to the Emperor that speaks for itself, does it not? He makes no effort to conceal his pride. For our part, we keep the precious relics intact and undisturbed as we conduct liturgies and perform rites. Initiate Zeke is especially diligent in his care for the relics. Though he is of common stock, he earned a position to dedication and piety. Zeke in Dutch means ill, by the way. I would like to hear the Imperium's tenants from you. Oh god. Did Lady Theodora come here often? Your predecessor always had due concern for the reliquary's maintenance and its needs, and under her rule, faith occupied its proper place on this ship. Adelbert gives you a diplomatic smile. You are positively beaming with joy, and peace like you is a rare sight. Adelbert laughs good-naturedly. A fair observation. Everybody knows that the clergy must maintain a stern appearance to inspire fear and awe in their flock. His mirth fades, giving way to a pensive gravitas. The truth is that my clan and I experience great hardship. I cannot explain how it is that I'm standing here before you now, except by his will. How could one be anything but joyful knowing that they were saved by the Emperor? Well, what happened to your clan? I was scarcely more than a child when the malady struck our cabins. First would come the fever. Then the unlucky victim would start retching blood. Oh, that sounds good. After that, they would melt away like a candle. Only the youngest survived amongst myself. He smiles feebly. But now my family is going, and I am grateful for each new life that replaces one lost. Still, your gentle manner may adversely affect your flock's health. An accurate observation from a lord who knows the importance of strong faith on a ship. The gentleness you speak of is skin deep. On the insides, my faith and spirit are pure adamantine. Decades instructing the crew in fighting the dangers of the void and the warp have required nothing less. My resolve is the face of the monstrous threats that we must always be 100-fold firmer than that of my we face. Ugh, damn it, forgot a few words. I have other things to discuss. People confess to you, do they not? I have interest in knowing the thoughts of some of my subjects. Ours is a throne-fearing flock that regularly leaves Fox recordings in the shrine confessional housed in the eastern part of the reliquary. This allows us to maintain constant watch for any heretical tendencies. We can observe the earnesty with which our parishioners render their duties, as well as any dangerous dissent brewing in their minds. Initiate Clotus is responsible for sorting the confessions. He will be honored to offer you access to the confessional cogitator. Yeah, I already do. Well, bye dude. Time to leave. Well, at least I got the goodies here.
Money to be made.
So. I think I've been to pretty much every place now. Just have the freight line still. Oh, just a quick second, quickly checking my messages. And yes, better than nothing. This place is cool. Adok Frenzo. A certainly built man with an augmented jaw. Nice. Stands at attention. The dark circles under his eyes speak to many sleepless nights, but his voice is loud and spirited. Welcome to Freight Hub LD987/A14, Lord Captain. I am Adok Frenzo, Captain of the Enforcers in the lower deck bay LDA14. Okay, so you just shorten it at some point. The Master at Arms has assigned me to be your liaison for the duration of your stay here. Lord Captain, would you like to inspect the control room or to begin your search for the Temple of the Bloodspun Web? He says the last part with obvious concern. It seems you were prepared for my visit. How did you and Sourback know I was coming now? The Master at Arms ordered us to be on standby after the Bloodspun Web openly invited you to visit their temple. We have been awaiting your arrival every day since then, Lord Captain. Oh god, how long have they been waiting here? Do you know how to reach the Temple of the Bloodspun Web? I'm sorry, Lord Captain, I do not. No one knows. The cultists are too adept at hiding and keeping their secrets. And it worries me that you might have to walk around the entire compartment looking for the temple. Why are you worried? Is there a problem with this compartment? The lower decks are not suitable for someone of your status. And it's not just the grime of the crowds or of British laborers. I suspect that the entrance to the temple is hidden in some dark corner where you might encounter criminals or contagious outcasts. With the kind of riffraff that dwells here, you might even be attacked. Okay. Cassia shivers. Such ghastly place as you describe. We are not headed there, are we, Lord Captain? Yes, we are. He frowns, to put it bluntly. Although the Bay performs its functions well, even the most civilized sections are sorely lacking in discipline. I was only assigned recently, so I haven't had the time to straighten everything up. Since doing so will require making some serious changes. I am not inventing excuses, Lord Captain. As the officer in charge, I accept full responsibility for what takes place in this compartment. Oh, that's nice. Being assigned here seems almost like exile. Did you commit an infraction? Frenzo shakes his head fiercely. No, Lord Captain. Quite the opposite. I was commended for my services, okay? This compartment has always been a troublesome one, and the Master at Arms assigned me here because she thought highly of my merits. I'm honored to have earned Mistress Sourback's trust. What do the lower deck officers think of Jocasta Sourback? Mr. Sourback possesses all the personal and professional qualities required to lead the Enforcers efficiently, Lord Captain. Is he just brown-nosing, or...? He enunciates every word with pride, but you notice drops of sweat on his brow. Okay, I hereby offer you my assistance, Captain. I shall conduct an inspection and then share my thoughts on how to change this place for the better. Rejoice, Franzo, for the Lord Captain himself has deigned to deal with your problems. Rest assured, I will provide you with some crucial guidance once I'm done inspecting the bay. The situation in the bay does not interest me. I am here on business and I have no intention of staying any longer than I need to. Well, I'm gonna go with one. But Francis stops himself mid-protest and assumes a more compliant tone. In that case, I urge you to remain vigilant. The freight trains move at great speeds, and the inhabitants of the residential units are despicable rabble. Nice. One must never drop one's guard around them. An emperor preserves you from stumbling into the pestilence pit. That's where the madmen and the lepers live. Well, be steadfast in your duties. At least they all salute me, so that kind of feels good.
I always keep my options open.
Nice, goodies. There's a lot of people in this place, though. Have you heard the Lord Captain himself stop by our bay? Like, I'm standing here next to you.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Is that blood? I'm guessing this is a sign from the Bloodspun Web. It can't be. We skipped the deck 3 times before the Rogue Trader came. Before you take me, the captain will have our heads. Is this what welcome you give the Rogue Trader? Abelard's nostrils flare in anger. Whoever had the audacity to leave this behind, this appalling symbol, I will see to it that the Master at Arms calls them to account herself. The corner of the captain's mouth twitches nervously as he mutters, "Damn those! How did they even?" Well, awareness, examine the mark. You have seen this sort of symbol before. Dead cultists carve bleeding marks like this into their own skin. Kimberly carves the same symbol on the back of her hand with a knife and whispers a prayer. Doman Seth, remember this sign. It is the beginning of your quest, the first blood trial. Oh, do you know what this mark is? It resembles one of the symbols associated with the Bloodspun Web. What was it called again? The Song of Trailing Blood. That's a good name for a song. I think it's a familiar, it's a prayer familiar to many in this compartment. We've heard spinners say it when they, well, perform their signature acts of service to the Emperor, aka kill someone. Franzo takes a deep breath. The sound of shadows sank into the dark. Slashed feet crescendo, a fatal dance. Blade song in tempo, each edge an echo. Twin oaths to death throes. Now on her sacred blood. As she once trod the back of foes. That countless souls, but none who knows. You memorize the verse, why? When I took up my post here, I made sure to familiarize myself with all the particular qualities of this compartment. I soon heard about the verse and decided to investigate. I questioned a number of people who followed the Bloodspun Web, as I was trying to figure out if there was anything pernicious about it. And eventually I learned the whole thing. He frowns. The words are certainly strange, but it's nothing worse than that, it seems. What is the Song of Trailing Blood? From what I can tell, it's something like a prayer with several verses that tell about the life of one of the cult saints, Ariane, or the matriarch Spider as they call her. So I'm invited to follow a trail of blood, it seems. I accept the spinner's invitation. I hope you find what you're looking for, and return to the upper deck safely, Lord Captain. Yeah, I'll be fine.
I always have a backup plan.
Do we truly have to be here? I am not even sure what is making me more nauseous. These horrid colors, or the smell.
And she's having the time of her life. This is the last of the hub files for this work cycle. Do you have any idea how much it costs? There. 57 ration cards. That's all I've got, I swear. Spend the rest on Godgut again, I'm guessing. I'm not gonna give you any more favors. Give up the drinks or get used to life in the pestilence pit. I hope you get hit by a train. Nice.
Keep your wits about you.
The longer you stare at the mark, the quieter the sounds of the station become. The shadows go longer. Okay. The shadows grow longer. Where does it say so? Yeah, go longer and seem to stretch. Oh my god, this is annoying. And seem to stretch in the direction of the adjacent sector.
Let us not dawdle.
Oh, they're having the time of their life. Have mercy, make the pain stop. Burnt man. Mercy, please save me. The young man gasps for air through burned lips, slipping in and out of delirium. His skin is dripping from his gaunt body, like melted wax from a candle. His eyes, somewhat intact, alive, clear, and filled with pain, stare at you from under his caked eyelids. Get some informers and Medicaid personnel here now. This man is in need of revival. Once he has recovered, assign him to Scribe's Repentance. He's too badly injured to go back to work's life. A blissful smile twists the man's lips, and a tear forms at the corner of his ruined eye socket. The God Emperor has sent you to save me. You are his light. You are his grace. Thank you. Thank you for not leaving me here. Never forget the mercy that the Lord Captain has granted you. When the undying one is ready to accept a soul, it must be sent forth, and so will it be freed from the torment of the flesh. Yet you have chosen to prolong this one's suffering. Your intentions perplex me. Who are you and what happened to you? I am Vale, a cleaner. I was in my house asleep. Enforcers came, set fire to it. I didn't make it out in time. Oh. Do you know anything about the mark? He tries to turn his head, his blackened skin crunching as it opens into into scarlet cracks. A spinner came. He painted the symbol. Then he gave me water and whispered a strange verse. He told me to memorize it and to recite it later, so that help would come. And here you are. Then I should. He begins to whisper, his lips twisted in pain. To soothe smirched soul, her mercy she did grant. Last breath expressed, life with heart. Removed from chest, passed on to death. Her duty blessed, a balm for those who suffer. Anguish and distress. A longing brought to rest, of mortal wants to the soul divests. Okay? Help is on the way. Oh, of course. Thank you. Wow.
Is there money to be made?
Okay, this seems to be going on. This does not seem to be going well.
floor door is blessed with multifunctionality.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
The Infernus Master salutes you cheerfully with his low stick. Lord Captain, what an unexpected encounter. What brings you to this compartment? The famous cuisine and its magnificent vistas, no doubt. And what are you doing here? I'm here to patch up Savage, locomotive number 3, under the tax-free supervision. That old grump is my personal favorite on the entire freight line. Every couple of years, Savage gets mad. His boiler catches fire and starts spitting steam at the repairman. Guess who they call to take care of him in these situations? The Inferni, of course. And after I've done all the most dangerous works, that's when the iron brains come in. But that's alright, I love Savage, okay. When he's in a good mood, the feeling you get standing at his levers and speeding down the freight line is indescribable. I envy those tech priest drivers who get to operate him every day. The roar of the boiler, the wheels thumping like mad, and all that furious power pulsing in your hands, responding to the slightest movements. How about there's a mischievous spark in Heinrich's eyes? I introduce you. Sure, I cannot turn down an offer like that. The panel before you is covered with technical lumens and levers. The platform shakes with the boiler's mighty vibration as the iron beast beneath your feet growls and snorts ferociously. Nice. Heinrich squints contently and whispers the litany of ignition before turning to you. The machine is angry and refuses to obey. Right now, Savage is powered only by the auxiliary maneuvering engine. We will need to start the main rotor if we want to take a trip down the freight line. Initiating the train blessing algorithm. Let not corrosive wear separate the wheel sets. Let the traction drive receive the touch of the motive force, granted by the invisible hand of the Omnissiah. Let its grace strengthen the joints and supports that lift the body above the decay of mortal tracks. Hear me, driver, and praise the machine god thrice, for it is only by his will that the miracle of sacred locomotion is accomplished. The blessing has been successfully executed. Listen to the rumbling noise coming from the boiler. The stubborn machine does indeed seem remarkably similar to a wild beast. The roar of the mechanism resembles a horse growling, and the scarlet glow of the lumens on the control panel makes you think of the malicious glare of a predator. The spirit of the machine is vicious, but strong and lively. What should I do? Put your hand on the big lever and gently give it a pull. Very gently. Savage does not like being hassled. Well, I am gonna give it a gentle pull. A few erratic jolts shake the platform, and an indignant groan emanates from the depths of the machine. An intense shudder passes through the lever and into the palm of your hand, and there's a strange feeling of emptiness in your stomach. Savage's fiery heart is stirring. Do you feel it? There is so much energy and defiance in him. This is a rocket, not a locomotive, unruly and enamored with speed, but quite willing to submit to a strong hand. There's almost a loving tenderness in Heinrich's voice. Pull the lever towards you, smoothly but firmly. Good night, Kibby. Then pump the fuel with the command given. Okay.
Hydrate, you bastard! Hydrate!
A new explosion inside Savage shakes his iron body, causing your eyes to see double from the vibration. Now you are feeling his real power. He can gun down the entire freight line in a minute, given the chance, and kill everyone who rides him at that speed. Now, try applying some thrust to the main rotor. Grab those paired levers and give him a firm tug. Tech use. Reach for the ornately carved levers and awaken the beast. A torrent of steam bursts from the slit in front of your face, but Angry deftly covers you with his shoulder. A moment later you realize that you cannot hear a thing, or rather you hear only one thing, the roar of the engine, triumphant and powerful. Looks like Savage has agreed not to kill us both. His tech priest guardians will be pleased. All hail the Lord Captain, you have subdued a mighty beast today. Now I'm sure you have urgent business to attend to, and it's time for me to drive Savage down the line and see if he's feeling cranky. This was most intriguing, Angry. I am pleased. Angry lowers his eyes and grins. Could I have wished for anything more? Your lordship. Have a good tip. Everything is going to be alright. Savage would never fry me, right, Savage? Would be kind of funny if he did get fried.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
I can't actually cross, okay. I was just kind of curious. Okay, he's playing the flute and after that. A group of gawkers are crowding around a makeshift stage, watching a strange duo perform. A man with odd-looking goggles pursed up on his forehead, hands wrapped in worn leather gloves, plays a tune on a hand-made flute. Next to him sits a stack of crates supporting some kind of game board. A scruffy rat is rolling small glass balls around the board. Okay, watch the game. Several workers empty their pockets and start throwing ration cards, bolt nuts, and even a few power panels into the small chest next to the board. The flute player winks at the crowd and switches to a different tune. The rat squeaks excitingly and starts rolling around the colorful balls the players have chosen around the maze of tunnels on the board. But not a single one reaches the goal, a hole marked with a red circle. The rat just rolls all the balls off the board, or into dead ends. Once the first group of players get their hopes dashed and leave empty-handed, new workers immediately take their place. Watch the rat. Awareness test succeeded. The rat scurries around the board, spurred on by the flute. Its movements appear erratic at first glance, but after a while you notice how consistently the balls seem to miss the goal at the very last moment. While the rat's clumsy, amusing scampering distracts the spectators, its nimble tail directs the balls away from the hole. Nice. Okay, listen to the tune. The rat's movements, from the flicks of its tails to when and where it pushes the balls, obeys its master's wordless commands with uncanny precision. The notes, the pauses, the rhythm, every part of the melody is serving as a signal to the flute player's tiny assistant. Judah, why are you idling about and distracting the other workers? The crowd, which has been too absorbed in the performance to notice your presence, turn to you. Expressions of frightful awe appear on the workers' faces. Many start whispering prayers. The man stops playing and shrugs, a guilty smile crossing his face. Yeah, I do get called out for it a lot, to be honest, but it's kind of normal. To be honest, all accents are kind of distinct. It's just how to say this. Especially Dutch people will recognize Dutch accents, but yeah, for most Americans, the accent is unplaceable. British people generally know. German people definitely know. I haven't actually ever had a French person comment. Spanish people tend to know because yeah, a lot of Dutch people used to go to Spain, still do actually. So yeah, it kind of depends on where they're from, but yeah, some people have like no clue where the accent is from. And if I'm speaking with a lot of foreign people, like with other nations, I tend to take their accents over, which is kind of annoying. I just copy their accents. Yeah, I haven't had work for who knows how many watches now. And even if they did give me work, the enforcers would just gobble me of my earnings afterwards. So I found a calling after my own heart. I trade fortune for ration cards. The folks around here peddle away what little they have to spare anyway, so why can't I? Valid. Perhaps you would like to trade us some of that captain's fortune of yours, your lordship. He's bold. The flute player bows respectfully and gestures at the game board. Who are you? I am but one of many. The man gestures broadly at the teaming station. A voice in the crowd, a cog in the mechanisms. His humble servant. Flute player is all they call me, because that's what I am. I make up tunes and give people respite after a hard day's work. That's a curious looking flute. How did you come by it? He pats his instrument gently. My mother loved music. She used to hum beautiful melodies to me. And when she passed away, I carved this flute from her hip bone. What? And learned to play. Out of sorrow and respect for her memory. Play one of the local favorites for me. The flute player smiles mysteriously and brings the flute to his lips. A simple, brisk melody pours out of the instrument. The glum faces of workers and traders soften a little, and the tunnels around you seem less squalid than before. Long after the music has stopped, many continue to whistle the unassuming ditty. Yeah, I actually spent quite a lot of time with Danish people. I love Danish accents. A flute needs no words to sing, but I'm curious to know what story your melody tells. The flute player awkwardly adjusts the goggles on his forehead. The story of a simple man from the lower decks, honest with himself and others. He risked his life to protect the oppressed from those corrupted by power. He takes from the rich and gives to the needy. He helps without asking anything in return. Nemesis, hero of tales, admired by children and grown folk alike. But yeah, when I speak with for example, Indians, my accent will become more Indian. If I speak a lot with Americans, my accent becomes more American for a while. It really depends on the people that I have around me and the amount of time I actually bother to change my accent. Because if I take more time to pronounce things, I can change my accent. It's just, yeah, it's bothersome. May good times come for you one day, and there will be no need for songs about fighting justice. Okay, justice. By opposing legitimate authority, you're found Nemesis's temple on the creed, and everyone who glorifies him is a criminal. Nice, that is a fairy tale indeed, risking oneself for nothing. If such a man existed, he would surely be profiting from your misfortunes and sickness. Okay. The people look at each other in shock upon hearing this unpalatable fact of life. Their joy evaporates, leaving only bitterness of disappointment. Oh god, I feel bad. The flute player smiles regretfully. I think the song just died, but I won't despair. Life always suggests new melodies that people will like. Are you suggesting we play a game? The flute player smiles eagerly. Please bless our little lark with your attention. Explain the rules of this game to me. It's simple. On this board you play with fate. Choose a ball and give it to Balls, my cat. If she rolls your ball into the pocket marked in red within 3 minutes, you win. If she doesn't, you lose. Simple. I can cheat or play fairly. I'm gonna play fairly. The man readies his flute, and the gat dives under the board. You hear clawed feet scabbling against the crate, and a few moments later, a green ball pops out of the center. The rat almost manages to get the ball into the hole, but sharply changes direction right at the last moment. Then it happens again and again. At last the ball hits a dead end, signifying your defeat. Another round, your lordship? The man bows his head with a slight smile. You know, I've heard wise visitors from higher up say that this little game offers more than just amusement. They say it's an opportunity to test different strategies, to learn more about yourself and others. I'm gonna cheat. The man readies his flute, and the rat dives under the board. You hear clawed feet scabbling against the crate, and a few moments later, a green ball pops out of the center. You are not entirely certain how the flute player controls his gat, but you still have your bag of old and reliable tricks at your disposal. Your foot touches the base of the crate stack, seemingly by accident, and the board tilts slightly. Hey, he is also cheating. I already inspected the gat, and the gat just pushes the ball away the last second. Meanwhile, the gat, tempted by the piece of hardtack clutch syrup. Oh god, like, see, this is what I mean. Sometimes this game has words where I'm like, oh shit, how the hell do I pronounce this? Surreptitiously between your fingers. Happily rolls the ball where you want it to go. When the ball drops into the rat hole, a few impressed whistles come from the crowd, and the flute player laughs heartily. Cleverly done, your lordship. Well, I had no doubt that you would be a worthy opponent. And your strategy? I think I will keep it in my mind for future games. You have lost this time, but I know you are cheating. Get out of my sight before I report you to the... Yeah, well, there's a lot of words in this game that make me go like, oh my god, how the hell am I supposed to pronounce this? Smells, shall we play another round? I'm sorry, your lordship, I don't have anything left to play for. He smells sheepishly as he turns out his torn pockets. I hope you have enjoyed yourself. I certainly won't forget my fateful meeting with the Lord Captain. The flute player clears the board in one deft movement and begins a new tune. Well, at least I won.
Peculiar thing.
Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge.
Oh, more goodies.
I always have a backup plan.
A group of beggars are rattling their alms mugs and ostentatiously displaying their hunger-sunken bellies and various disfigurements. A toothless man falls to his knees before you. Your lordship, spare... I love how they... For a second I was like, how the hell am I supposed to be pronouncing... And okay, I cheated. I admit that I cheated in the game, but I saw that he was cheating first, so that's how I won. I saw that he was cheating, and I counted his cheating. So if by that logic I'm not actually cheating, I'm making it fair again. Spare a throne for those who can't even get the worst jobs. Kill the beggar. I am sick of you. I don't have anything. Sorry.
I always keep my options open.
Yeah, he has no teeth, so that's why it is getting like that.
Experience?
Judging by the merchant's well-rounded, well-fed face. Ugh. Judging by the merchant's round, well-fed face, the rusty junk laid out on the counter is merely a smoke screen for the more valuable and likely illegal goods that are now hidden from idle glancers.
Let us not dawdle.
I'm not gonna kill beggars. Okay, so this is how I can cross to the other side. That's kind of cool. Why is it pointing towards a man called Dead Man? I did kill a lot of people, I know. A sinewy, middle-aged man watches the bustle of the bay with a detached expression. Every so often, whenever his eyes linger on the blood mark and scrap nearby, his face changes strangely and his hands clench into fists. Okay. Just as you begin to hear the rumble of an approaching train, the man's gaze turns towards the tracks. He leans forward. What do you think you are doing? Abelard, do something. Do not even think of marrying the underside of my train with your entrails. God damn it, what kind of answer is that? Observe silently. Abelard, go fix it. Abelard barks out, in the name of the dynasty, I command you to step away from the edge and explain the misdeed you were about to commit. Oh, this is actually working. Nice. What? I didn't. The man starts and almost falls, but manages to keep his balance. In the dim lumen light, you notice the old scars scattered all across his body. The scars seem vaguely familiar. Pascal's Fox synthesizer springs to life with an indignant binaric thrill. I am registering this unit's intention to use the train tracks for purposes other than those intended by their design. I categorically demand that the unit's self-disposal be carried out using methods that do not violate the catechisms of maintenance and operation. Sorry. As always, return to the blood symbol. What do you know about it? Look at the man's scars. The scars all vary in length, width, depth, and shape. However, you notice a pattern in the way the scars are aligned, as well as a series of faded symbols on the man's rough skin. Death cultists bear similar marks on their body. But spinners are constantly renewing their wounds, while this man's look long since healed. Okay, your eyes always return to the blood symbol. What do you know about it? It is the symbol of the bloodspun web. I come here every watch, but it hasn't been here before now. I guess today must be a special day. He smells strangely. The man's faded eyes go wide as he notices Cabela. His voice quivers. You have come to take me to the other side? Cabela briefly studies the man's face, then turns away. I didn't know you. Death's gaze is not upon you. The man lets out a dull groan and turns to the symbol again. But then why? Why is it here? You know the symbols of the bloodspun web. You bear similar scars. Are you a spinner? I was, but I failed to complete my final assessment, so I was exiled from the cult, okay? The Vizier told me to kill the ones who would be at a certain junction of the utility tunnels at a certain hour. I went to the appointed spot. Then I waited an hour, 2, 5. The junction was still empty. Nobody came. After hours of waiting, I finally realized the person at the junction had been me the whole time. It was my turn to go to the Undying One, but I was afraid. I couldn't do my duty again. Okay. So the spinners simply let you go. They made no attempts to find you and kill you. There was no pursuit. I thought I'd see their black blades the very next day. Instead, years passed without them taking my heart. I tried starting a new life, but the terror never stopped eating away at me. When I got truly desperate, I went to the Temple of Death myself. But no one there would speak to me. When I gave them my name, they just whispered. Sabrid has gone to the Undying One. They looked to me like I wasn't even there. I've lived like this for 20 years, like a coward, like a dead man. You were ordered to die? For what reason? Oh god. The man looks at you. But some would choose to leave the righteous path. These earned penance in due time. Her whip sings vengeance on renegade menace. Her blades pass sentence. For cowards seek to hide their hearts, but death makes no petulance. It takes what it is due in essence. He stops, then adds hoarsely the third verse of the Song of the Tailing Blood. The Vizier recited it to me before sending me on my final assignment. I didn't realize at the time that it was my judgment. There were plenty of reasons. I sought death. I offered him the souls of the most pleasing men and women I could find because it kindled my passions. I killed well-off crewmen who didn't deserve their wealth, and I took their thrones. I killed enforcers who looked into my eyes without fear, because I wanted to be feared. I reveled in bloodshed. I betrayed the tenants. I realized it, but I couldn't help it, because I enjoyed it. Oh, heretical. You do not sound particularly remorseful. I spent years in remorse. I'm tired of it. Have you killed any more innocent souls in Julian? No, I've been afraid to touch my own knife since that day. Thought it might just stab me on its own. But the temptation is always there. You are a coward and a butcher of the innocent. I will purge my ship of your existence. The man does nothing to stop you. He even leans closer to the rails, accepting his fate with a smile on his face. The undying one is death. Okay. Am I going to kick him down? Nice! That was kind of cool though. Kibela stares at the remains of he who was once her brother in service. Truly, it is better to die for him than to live for yourself. This he forgot. Well,
Keep your wits about you.
that was kind of funny. I'm a nice person, I promise.
Here?
I have a stack of ration cards now. Well, he did kill innocent people, so... just because he wanted to be feared. Such things. Or because they had stuff he wanted. Have mercy in the throne's name, I beg you. 12. The battered worker throws himself at your feet and touches the toe of your boot with his dirty palms. Well, he did... Even if he had family, let's be honest. Even if he had family, he is a guy that killed innocent people. So, just because he wanted to be feared. Your gracious lordship, hand of the god emperor, save your unworthy servant. Get lost. The enforcer's heavy baton pummels the man's back and shoulders several times. His bones crack audibly. Okay. The sound of breaking bones, the man's cries, and the enforcer's hateful laughter remind you of what you went through yourself. Too vividly and too painful. Set gained the Echo of Torment. Effect duration permanent. Okay. Wow. My sincerest apologies, Lord Captain. Your boot. I'll clean it right away. I have... How... Okay, this is kind of shitty though. And more of... Stop the enforcer. I intend to hear this man out. Your lordship, I work hard. Never even take breaks to rest. And all I earn is 7 ration cards with 15 mouths to feed. Back home. Oh, 15 mouths, okay? The enforcers shake me down every shift, just like they do every other honest hard worker who... Enough whining. You and your pals lifted up a box of Nitro bars a few watches ago. And 2 canisters of water before that. I didn't beat the life out of you because I took pity on you. And this is the thanks I get? You quarantined the hub for 20 watches and refused to give out rations if we didn't have cards. Cards we had no ways to earn. Okay. And today you earned 15 cards in a single shift because you do the work of 3 people, right? Or did you take your pals to a dark corner somewhere, do them in, and take their share? I didn't do them in. It was an ex. The worker stops himself, cowers and whimpers. They got their heads bashed in by crates. The dead don't need rations. Okay. Am I to understand that enforcers are appropriating earnings from workers after their shifts? We appropriate nothing. We just monitor and redistribute, the enforcer mutters gloomily. The rabble are a lying and thieving lot. We have instructions to stay alert for people holding more than the standard amount of ration cards, to prevent supply embezzlement and famine. They do take our cards, your lordship, and then grow fat using them themselves. The worker's eyes squeeze shut tightly as he whispers his accusations. He seems unable to believe his stroke of luck. Consider yourself discharged, thief. Tomorrow you are to stand here and queue for work assignments like the others, okay? Address the enforcer. Return the cards and do not dare abuse your position again. Address the worker. Every crime will be punished accordingly. I offer no protection to thieves. You both deserve punishment. Skip the arbitrary enforcer of his gang and give lashes to the thief. I think this is the most fair. The worker snarls at the enforcer, who has suddenly gone pale. Didn't expect that now did you? Once my back stops hurting, we'll see how brave you are without your baton. Low, insistent dissent begins to rise in the crowd, only to die back down as soon as the enforcers brandish their batons. The murmurs immediately turn into pleas for mercy. Awareness test. A sullen, red-bearded man with keen black eyes draw your attention. His oddly piercing gaze seemed to size you up the whole time you were speaking, but now he has hastened to conceal himself behind the gawkers. The next thing you know, you are watching him hurry deeper into the tunnels. The discharged enforcer, surrounded by spiteful leers, glowers at the crowd as the beaten worker laughs uproariously, seemingly far more pleased with the other's misfortune than troubled by his own sentence. Okay. No, shoot. Go away, people. I am not going to kill that beggar.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
There's some levers here.
An expected result.
Oof. Back pain's in the game.
I always have a backup plan.
Oh, okay. No, the other way.
Rise to the top, or get
Okay,
left in
and
the
now we
dust.
can put it up. Well, the issue with this case with the the entire situation is that you don't know what's true or not. You don't have any evidence, so it becomes really hard to prove either claim. You basically get pulled into it due to the fact that it's an ongoing thing that you walked into. And the guys having their heads bashed in by falling crates is kind of a coincidence. But yeah, I also feel like the guard was not, telling the truth, because he was just calling it redistributing. So I think both should have been executed, but that's my opinion. Like, in this universe, there is generally no good answer. Like, it's really dark. They don't really send people to prison for such things. Like, yeah. All the solutions are really bad, kinda. So...
Nothing's impossible for this old officer.
No, not everyone. That's a lot of free goodies.
Pay attention.
Oh. Ooh, more reactions.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
I always keep my options open.
You know what? I'm going back to the dagger. I'm now going to do something. Look at those guts. Oh, I can't even communicate with them anymore. Why is that enforcer lighting up? But yeah, I can't interact with the beggar anymore.
Watching the lazy handle sacred technology breaks my heart.
Oh, I wasn't gonna kill him.
Speaking,
Oh, I can't. He's here now. Oh no, this is the little one.
Keep
Never
your
mind.
eye on the prize.
then my blood pressure.
I was just. Oh god, I now have beggars following me. Okay, maybe I should have executed him. Ah, nice. Kill you, sad guy. Now I'm just gonna throw them a stack of cards. Now they can get lost.
Keep your wits about you.
Thief leader. Several people are eagerly rummaging through a rack filled with weapons from the Enforcer's arsenal. Yes, I had the perfect chance. Didn't take it. A big man with a pock-marked face is the first to react to your presence. He attracts the others' attention with a piercing whistle and barks out, "Who are you?" There's not supposed to be anyone... it doesn't matter. Identify yourself. Take a closer look at the suspicious individuals. Makeshift armor peeks out from beneath their ragged clothes, and their battered weapons display a patchwork of crude repairs. The group stares longingly at the rack where the good plasteel gleams, relentlessly clutching their humble weapons. You notice that the little finger of every person's right hand has been cut off. It is hardly a coincidence. I am Rogue Trader Seth von Valencius, and you will explain what's going on here. The people turn to stare at you in disbelief and exchange heated whispers. The excitement is interrupted by the leader's roar. What are you people gawping at? Hurry up and bend your backs as is right and proper. Your lordship, you must excuse these blockheads. I was taken aback myself. It is not every day that you see the Rogue Trader in the flesh. And as for this, the man cast a grim glance at the rack. I won't insult you by denying it. You've caught us red-handed. At least he's honest. Yeah, he's like, oh shit, I got caught. I can try and lie, but he's gonna kill me for it. Okay, who are you? The Hard Nines, a gang. I mean, a brotherhood from Transport Bay 9. Don't think we're parasites. We do our bit for the prosperity of the ship. We're sort of assistants to the enforcers, self-appointed. We make sure that order is maintained in compartments where the enforcers are too lazy or greedy for bribes. We put a stop to robbery and free thinking, and well, we accept a small contribution as a show of thanks. Why do you want my weapons? Are you going to rebel? To do business. The gang leader smiles ingratiatingly. We're no rebels. If anyone blasphemes against your lordship, we call the troublemakers to order, and we shed blood for the flagship without fear. I suppose that makes us defenders of the ship. Ah, yeah. The thug gazes his eyebrow questioningly and looks at you expectantly. You obviously did not expect anyone to be here. Are the enforcers providing cover for you? I wish. Frenzo, the newly appointed captain, had our informant strung up. He's tightening the screws, damn it. We can barely breathe. Today's the last time we'll come to pick over this compartment. You all have your little fingers cut off. What does this mean? It's our gang's initiation guide, a fine tradition. By voluntarily removing a finger, the newcomer shows their determination and willingness to join us forever. It's also a badge of honor. He proudly shows off the stump of his little finger. Tell me why I shouldn't execute you on the spot. You could execute us, but who would take our place? Shameless scum who rob and kill their heart's content. Yeah, I wouldn't cut off my finger either. Bastards who accept mutants into their gangs and pay to the arch enemy. There have always been outlaws on the ship. You're better off with outlaws like us, who don't go too far and keep the other heretics down. He makes a good point. If the rumors are true, then you know how it goes. There are criminals, and then there are criminals. It's not a cult. They're a gang. That's a different. Okay, I suppose they might be of use. I'm just gonna give them some basic weapons. Oh, he does not like that. The seneschal grits his teeth, impotent in the face of your choice. One day I will realize the depth and wisdom of your decision, Lord Captain. But in the meantime, I will pray that this act does not come back to haunt you. Yes, there are gangs that cut off fingers, especially with betrayal and so forth. For example, the Yakuza in Japan. Hear that, boys? The Lord Captain himself is expecting good things from us. We can't let him down. His cronies make sounds of approval. We will fulfill your command to the letter. Yeah, killing them would have been the more... But he is kind of right. Yoink! And now I'm looting everything.
Operation successful.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
In my defense, it's my kind of stuff anyways. Like in an armory, so... And if it's in an armory, it is my stuff. So I'm not stealing. What are they doing here? It's my ship and my equipment. I paid for it with my ship stuff. Or well, Theodora did, but... I helped out a friend with the loading and he gave me some cards. Take them and exchange them for some new shoots. Yours are all worn out. That's kind of nice. Oh, thank you. I've already made your bed for you. So once we're eaten, you go and rest. They're fighting here. The little ones and I will head out to the marketplace and leave you in peace. Why did the Emperor send me such a wonderful wife? Sordid goon. I hope no one notices that this is my third time in the queue. What the hell? This does not look yummy. Imagine having to eat that. This is so disgusting. Shreds of red carcasses and yellow-green moss chew. Oh, no. No, no. Stew in the cloudy sludge, among with other identifiable ingredients. Okay. Yummy, yummy red carcasses.
Attention to detail is the key to success.
Nope, more ration cards. I'm stealing all the ration cards at the moment. Or can I actually go this way?
Have a backup plan.
Yes, this crate is open.
This could be an opportunity.
Grandpa, can my toy run around and wag its tail? No, it can't, dear. It's just a little gat stuffed with a few nuts. He was to put lights in the... Okay, in the carcass of a gat, so the eyes will glow. No, I think you need to enjoy your meal. I'm quite sure you'll enjoy it. Looks like a spinner killed him. Anyone knows that man? He was a heretic, wasn't he? Oh, autosave. That generally means something. The foreman. The day the Lord Captain wandered into our slums will be remembered in legends. The broad-shouldered man raises a hand in greeting. His old prosthetic creaks plaintively as it takes the weight of his body. The locals and the enforcers call me the foreman. Its first name is Eric Foreman. House reference. I have no other name. You might say I'm in charge here, in this hole of a place. You recognize the shaggy red beard and the keen black eyes. This is the man who was watching you during your encounter with the enforcer and the station worker. I saw you near the marketplace. What were you doing there? Watching one of my workers take a beating. I feel sorry for the lad, but there was nothing I could do. The foreman smiles wryly, showing his yellow teeth. Almost all of the front ones have been knocked out. I've stuck my neck out in the past, not doing it again. Tell me what life is like for the workers on the lower decks. They toil day in and out for the glory of the ship. The rest of the time, they do their best to survive. Faced with hunger, the more deranged of the enforcers, void leprosy. What the hell's void leprosy? Ice cream is nothing compared to this green stuff. You need to have more green stuff. Fires, floods, noxious fumes. The foreman lists these things on his fingers, although he has fewer than nature's average to work with. In a word, it's a decent enough life. If you work, you survive. If you freeload, you also survive. If you're clever. Well, and if the God Emperor wills it. What are you cooking in that fat? Believe it or not, this soup made from mold slime and technical drain water has been simmering here in this vat for at least 200 years non-stop. See the growth in the walls over there? We harvested it, dry it, and use it to season the soup. If we're lucky, the smell attracts a void rat, and someone gets to have meat in their bowl. The foreman points a finger proudly towards the vat. It's for those who can't even earn a ration card. I feed them in exchange for services or favors. Sometimes it pays off, and sometimes it doesn't. My people keep an eye out for workers trying to eat 2 balls in one sitting. One is enough to fill your stomach for an entire watch. Some complain about the taste, of course, in gates. Give me some of that soup. Let my servant see that food is a great blessing. Yeah, I'll pass. I seek the blood spanner's web. The cultists don't let people like me in on their guides and misdeeds. I'm grateful for them to them for their service to the God Emperor, but to be honest, I can't get behind their love of death. I'm much too fond of living. Lord Captain, I beg another second of your attention. Please accept this humble gift from us, the common people of the Bay, for all the good you do to us. The most precious thing we could get for your lordship. A hidden auto-stimulant. Nice, thank you. It's appreciated. I am not eating your green stuff. No, you have to eat it.
Always keep your eye on the price.
As Rogue Trader, I demand that you eat it. The consequences of a terrible crash on monorail LD 987 half a century ago are still affecting the efficiency of this stretch of railway. It's not bullying.
This ocular
It's
implant was a
good for you.
worthwhile
Oh.
investment.
Duty prevails.
Give our gift to the one who sees nothing but hears everything. Then the truth will be revealed to you, okay? Kinda cool that the trains
Rise
are
to the top, or get left in the dust.
like here though, like that they pass overhead. Quite sure that if you live here you won't be that happy with them constantly, but... Oh, another auto save. The stench of decaying bodies creeps into your throat and lungs. Oh god. Forming a sticky film lining your airways. Don't burn my ship down. Stop being so bloody difficult. What's that thing the blood cultists say? Your time has come? Or what have you? No, please, what did I do? Wow. Talk about being everywhere at once. Okay. We'll get to eat soup tonight. I'm gonna have a talk to that outcast leader. This is not gonna end well. The specimens before you must be the most repellent inhabitants in the compartment. They're covered in sores and bald patches, glistening with pus, and the stench of unwashed bodies brings a tear to your eye. One of them glowers at you and grunts. What you want? For what crime did you kill this man? Grinning, the leader spits out. For the crime of wealth. That bastard had ration cars and fuel cells. We'll trade them for porridge. What are you, mutants, invalids? Mold eaters, outcasts, folks who have no place even amongst the lowest of the low. Some were born that way, some were driven out to keep them from spreading the contagion. The foreman won't let us near the fad. The enforcers tried to shoot us on sight. As if it's our fault we were born in a terrible place. We are worms in the rotten belly of this ship, fodder for the disease. The outcast licks his lips, and you see a tongue studded with small, underdeveloped teeth. This is no disease, but an obvious mutation. The longer you stare at the man, the more deviations from the human form you detect. Wretches such as this, disfigured by genetic abnormalities and disease, are a perfect breeding ground for true corruption. You are sentenced to death for committing murder on my ship. We'll gut you and have what you have on you for a pile of scan. Hey, outcast, come up if you want a share of the spoils. Okay.
Your arrogance will be your downfall.
I should have probably leveled up characters a bit before. Yeah, I kind of figured. I did not pick the best group to start fighting. They have people all around.
Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it. Doubt is for the weak. Guided by faith. Each strike is a prayer.
Okay, so they also explode in toxic stuff. Okay, good to know. I should have leveled her up. I did not do so.
The shadows.
I also did level up her, so.
Death to non-believers!
It's nothing.
Indeed. Victory is imminent.
The toxins will not kill my ship. It's gonna be fine.
I will do my duty. It will be done.
I serve the ruinous powers!
Aim for the heart next time.
That guy was just sliding. That one as well.
Trust me. As the tenants demand. As honor ordains.
I'll see to it personally.
Okay, I didn't even kill him. That's kind of disappointing.
Who, if not me?
High momentum. My vow is to...
A waste of blood.
That might have been a bad choice.
Running binaric override. Request approved.
Rejoice in battle.
Isn't this a job for the serfs? I'll show you why navigators are feared.
It's as good as we never stood a chance. On it.
Nice, that's two down.
I cannot serve you in this way. Trust me. Death is a blessing.
I'm just gonna move her out of the poison if I can.
The shadows will see it done.
Chaos guides me!
These guys will be dead soon, so.
Brace yourself, Abelard.
Take care. Thanks for joining.
Follow my lead.
Can I get him there? I don't think so.
Forth on Valencia.
Let's just try it.
My place is at the fore. Indeed. One fewer target. It will be done. Victory is imminent. A tactically sound approach.
I'm just gonna move him back because that poison is not good.
I serve the ruinous powers.
Yeah, you guys can wait.
I bring mercy and retribution.
Oh, I can't jump anymore. That's kind of shitty. Well,
I'll make it happen. Who if not another enemy down?
As the tactical imperative dictates. Running binary code is significant value.
Protect your daughter.
did not expect her to get hit by that on that distance.
As the Emperor commands, I act. This is why I was chosen. I'll do it.
I'm afraid not.
Oh, this was the
I'm not accustomed to
AP
being
thing.
ordered around.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. It will be done.
Never get to move again.
It's as good as your end was inevitable.
Activate calculated fury algorithm.
I do not like this weapon.
God Emperor, move through me! Be the fire in my heart!
No, this wasn't CAP, yeah.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
There we go.
Condemns you.
Is there money to be made?
Bit sad she got hit, but I should have leveled up all the characters before starting that fight, to be honest. That's kind of what I get for just ignoring it. Medicaid.
This Explorator is blessed with multifunctionality.
I always have a backup plan.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
Now I gotta wait up again. I should take those goods as well.
Let us not do.
We should deal with this.
Oh, it's caps.
The Emperor favors me today. I better myself through my service. Duty prevails.
The machine god grants me insight.
If one by that cult, whenever the warrior kills an enemy, that enemy explodes in a fountain of blood. Nice. Don't think she has like a lot of gear at this point. A leper. Oh. Well. The moment I started investigating him, he immediately got killed.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Sedana, the outcast. A figure in decaying tatters is gawking to and fro, muttering indistinctly in several different voices, occasionally breaking into hoarse laughter. As you come closer, she freezes and turns slowly to look at you. An ugly, rusted mask covers her face. Are you here to take Sedana to the other side? No, 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 no. You're just wandering around in the dark, looking for the light, but it's nowhere to be found. Do you really not see it? Who are you? Old Sedana. Sedana the outcast, Sedana the mad, Sedana the disaster, Sedana the cursed, Sedana the spurned. The woman hugs her arms to her chest and starts cackling loudly. Broken chains clink at her emaciated wrists and neck. A ghost of the past, a shadow of the present. Only the undying one knows. He alone. Why are you wearing chains and a mask? You haven't escaped from the enforcers, have you? Ah, these gifts they are. The chains clink to announce Sedana's approach, for others to hear. She slides her diseased darkened palm down the rough, gusted metal of her mask. They hide, fearful of becoming like Sedana, afraid of losing face. Ha ha ha. What is this repulsive place? Do you live here? The woman scratches her neck nervously. You note her deformed fingers, ravaged by some unknown disease. Here, where the unfortunate meet their undead. Here's a dumping ground for the bodies of those the undying one rejects. Here, where pestilence dwells. Sedana welcomes them all. Talks to their ghosts. Here, where Sedana lives? Yes, that sounds good. You talk to ghosts. You can't hear them? Sedana points somewhere off to the side, laughing, then stops herself sharply. They don't like it when people come here. Lord Captain, this woman is clearly ill in both spirit and body. Best to leave her be. Her colors are all mixed, smudged, poised to reveal a pure shade of madness. And yet, scarlet threads separate these trembling patches, preventing her from losing herself. There's a blood symbol next to you. I have seen such marks before. Is this another part of the Song of Trailing Blood? Sedana burst into hysterical laughter. Oh yes, the song. Here, listen, listen. The woman starts chanting hurriedly. She wandered an eternity in dark, yet was consoled. Web foretold. Undying one, blood secrets glowed. A light to guide her fateful fall. But deaths must end, and so the spider did that which was owed. Her life and death to ships bestowed. She laughs again, and you'll see if you learn to see. Look into the darkness. Look. Peer into the darkness. I cannot fathom what I'm meant to see here. You peer into the darkness and are gradually able to make out the outlines of objects hidden in the shadow. Rotting corpses, rough walls, the twitching death throes of infected people left there here to die. You see no light in this place, only more darkness and despair. You don't see, do you? You don't see. Sedana shakes her head frantically and starts tearing off her gags. Strips off her decaying flesh peel off along with them. You will not see until you become like Sedana, the flesh and blood of the ship. How do I become the flagship's blood? Oh, Sedana will show you, and you'll see the true light. Come now. Okay?
I always keep my options open.
Wow. Geronimo! The rotating blades promise nothing but a senseless and brutal death. Slipping past them would require some unreasonably precise calculations or blind luck. While listening to the air currents, for a moment you think you hear Sedana's whispered prayers from the depths of the shaft. Athletics 100%. Jump! For the tone's sake, come to your senses. Yeah, he is not having it. Stop, don't do it. Whoop! Yeah. I had to. Suspicious gash. I kinda wonder what kind of buffs and debuffs I have at this point. Is there a way to see that? I thought I had some kind of debuff or something. That was permanent. Oh, I have 2 points. Should probably use them at some point soon.
Keep your wits about you.
Wait, I don't need to go down. No. Let me go back up. Oh well. I noticed there were goods here.
I always have a backup plan.
No, I can't go back up. Only down, apparently. Well, this is kind of shitty that I can't go back up. Look at those goods. I saw them too late.
What's a peculiar thing? Let us not dawdle.
Cold stone sarcophagi serve as the dead cultist's bed. Okay. Wow. Looks cozy. Underneath the ancient relic is a stone plaque with an inscription carved in elegant cursive. If you value life above duty, you are not worthy of life. Okay. Blood drinker.
Always keep
That's a
your eye
nice
on
game
the
for
prize.
Kabbalah, to be honest. Hey Nova. Oh, there she is. A frail old man, grey beard tingled with blood, folds his wrinkled hands in a ritual gesture. His body is covered in scars, some old, some fresh. His eyes are sewn tightly shut, okay. His mouth is cleft at both corners, making his jaw seem eerily snake-like. And the Lord of the Ark walked, no, I can't see, walked the paths of unlife in the footsteps of the web's very first spinner. And the servants of death bowed before him, for the domin is the giver of life, Nova. Yes, come here. The old man goes still, his head turned to the side. He nods towards the temple's muffled silence. Yes, yes, to it like a stream pours from your lips. We welcome them as the tenants demand. Nova, zo kan ik niks zien. Your hues are almost as pale as the grey, the grey of your beard. But what is this? Cassia flinches and takes a shuddering breath. A scarlet whirlwind shines through the faded colors. A thin blade appears in the old man's trembling hands. Although his arms are stiff and look like they can barely bend, in the next instant the dynasty symbols etched on his forehead, dripping blood. With a brief motion he flicks the blood off his blade, and several drops land on your face. The blood-spun web welcomes its new lord. I am the Vizier. For many years we have waited, and now you are here. We have waited. Whispers echo from his words from the shadows. Why is it you invited me here? Death whispered your name and commanded us to honor you with a sacred ritual. But only inside the temple can the spinners perform it, okay? The Vizier is suddenly distracted by someone invisible and nods towards empty space. Yes, we are glad he has reached this place. We are glad to serve. What do you mean you have waited many years? It was not so long ago that I made my acquaintance with the cult. As I delve into my divinations from the flesh and blood of the departed ones, I turn to a relic most ancient and priceless. It is his tarot, inherited by the cult from the matriarch spider who spun the first thread. One of the readings I did back when I still had the strength to leave the temple and usher souls on their final journey. That was when, in intricate tangle of destiny, I glimpsed our meeting. But when we would meet, alas, was not revealed to me. So we waited, year after year, and now the hour has come. Vizier, is that some kind of title? It is the name we give to the first spinner, the one who has learned the wisdom of the tenets of the web in order to lead others. I may have a duty to instruct and spin bloody threads, but in all other ways I am as much his servant and yours as much as anyone else in this temple. Nova. Okay. So you just walked my companions in here the normal way, while I was forced to take the jump. The spinners guided them along a different trail. You had to take the step, for only you were meant to become the flagship's blood domain. There was no reason to test the faith of those who followed you, for this burden was for the lords to bear. How did you manage to erect an entire temple in the middle of a ship without anyone noticing? Followers of the Guild once inhabited the tunnels between the base bulkhead, until the threads of fate were tangled and the domain of ages past gave us this compartment. We set ourselves to building spacious halls where the shadows, the images of him, and the spinners themselves would whisper of death. And thus the temple that you see began to change with the succession of viziers and the cult's generations. We are building it still, slowly but surely. Nice. I have walked the path of the matriarch spider. What now? The song of trailing blood tells of a path fraught with trials. By accepting it and setting out on that path, you pass the first one, the trial of resolve. For not everyone is prepared to shun their fear and doubt and embark on a search for the unknown. A search for death. The trial of compassion was the second one. You passed it when you put yourself, albeit briefly, in the service of another soul, a man suffering from burns. For the choice between life and death is to be made only by those willing to take responsibility for the pain of another. The third was the trial of justice. In assuming the role of judge for an apostate of our faith, you declared your right to influence the balance of life and death that the errant soul had upset. And the fourth was the title of duty, for duty always leads to death. We are prepared to render our duty to the Undying One, fearless and accepting of our purpose, which is to serve him. You too have proven yourself prepared, and the four tales have brought you here. Nice. Were the trials truly necessary, would not a conversation have sufficed? The path I have walked has helped me understand myself better. You forced me to undergo all this to share wisdom with me. Are you out of your mind? What would have happened if I never reached the end of the path? I'm gonna go with the first one. If Vizier bows that guiltily. Such are the tenets of the web. They are all we have ever known, and the only life we have lived to learn to live. The path you walked was a gift from the Undying One, and so we decided that was how we were going to honor you. Like the chandelier constantly moving around kind of distracts me. The Vizier's sewn shut eyes seem to peer into your face, studying it. Then he turns away and speaks into empty space again. Peace, my brother. The time has almost come. Who is it you are talking? Who is it you talk to all the time? The Vizier turns his head as if looking around the temple. I see echoes of those who have come before us and those who were with us, but have since crossed over to the other side. My brothers and sisters raised by the cult. I hear them from beyond their deaths. They share their wisdom. I heed them. The other spinners they hear not, for that burden is mine to bear. I see that your eyes are sewn shut. Are you blinders that another one of the cult's rituals? I was sighted for most of my life until a discipline of mine violated the tenets, and I realized just how blind I had been. A lesson, but a bitter one. To look with one's eyes alone is to be easily fooled, but the heart cannot be lied to. Such is the truth, and such was my choice. I sealed my eyelids with a gaze off to the side. Now I see more and better. Okay. So this entire conversation is another test, I imagine. A smile graces the Vizier's bluish lips. The tenants command us to be prepared for all trials, corporeal and spiritual alike. Are you prepared, Dom Seth? His mouth closes, but you can still hear his whisper. A prickling sensation in your face is making you incredibly anxious. You raise a hand to your cheek, only to realize you can't feel it. You look at your palm and see a few smudged drops of blood from the Vizier's blade. A strange serene calm envelops your body. Your fatigue subsides and you seem to float in the air, seeing things you had not noticed before. The shadows in the corner taking on shape and color. The subdued lumen light playing on the cultist's bone masks. Are they really masks? Their tall, lean, empty-eyed wearers might as well be dead people. A chill goes down your spine. Medicaid, 90%. What is the meaning of this? Knight, succeeded. Your heart is beating slowly, your breathing has become deeper, and your thoughts are muddled. You seem to be under the influence of a potent stimulant. Look at the temple. One moment, the walls of that sanctum go infinitely wide. The next, they are so narrow as to make it hard to breathe. The floor is dense under your feet, and the Undying Emperor's statue seems to shake its head threateningly as it looks down upon you. You poisoned me somehow, did you not? The Vizier nods meekly. My blood is infused with a concoction taken by those who follow the thread. It is sacred and harmless to us, but you it befogs and afflicts. And yet, Domin said, you have grasped that the mind may fail the body and the senses. This was the trial of spiritual acumen, and you passed it. And what happens now? That is for you to tell me. You look at the Vizier and his trembling frame seems small and insignificant. A single step is all it would take to crush him. But the visions are starting to wear off, and now the old man towers over you. The keen gaze of his sealed eye is now studying your every movement, waiting for a response. Well, first you're gonna give me the antidote. There is none, but I will ease its effect and quicken dissipation. 3 long, thick needles appear in the Vizier's hand. A moment later they are inside your body, one in your neck, one in your shoulder, and one between your ribs. You feel no pain or discomfort. On the contrary, your mind feels clear and your muscles regain their function. The Vizier then carefully removes the needles. Now you'll feel better. Now you're going to initiate me as a Servant of Death. A Servant of Death is hiss the echoing whispers from the temple, and the Vizier bows his head reverently. You have become the blood of the flagship. Now you will become one of his faithful servants. We may not name you a spinner, for a spinner's threat demands the forsaking of one's previous life, but the bloodspun webs will still accept you. The tenants allow it, but only for a domin who has followed the tailing blood until the end. Nice. That's a lot of blood, though. Kinda wonder how they keep it fresh. Yeah, this is, yeah. Upon the ritual platform at the Undying Emperor's feet, under the keen gaze of his dark, empty eye sockets, you feel completely insignificant. Surprisingly, the thick blood pouring from his hands onto your brow, chest and shoulders is still warm. But before his image, the Vizier assumes the ceremonial posture with incredible ease. His withered body moving swiftly and soundlessly. You are slowly plunged into darkness, to the sound of ritual chants and swooshing blades. Amidst the noise of splashing blood and the cultist whispers, you hear the words, "Death has spoken your name, Domin Seth. Death accepts you." A familiar whisper is sketching at the periphery of your consciousness, or is it an inner voice? Even if he hears you, what does he care? He did not save Theodora. He will not save you either. You are not his chosen one. But what if you offer a prayer to the gods that are truly immortal? The ones who do not hold back with their gifts. The ones who are always willing to accept you.
Did we just become best friends? Yep!
Hey, thanks for the follow. Taste the blood. Oh god, no. I don't want to taste it. Thank you. I actually made that goal. I didn't expect that anytime soon. Wipe the blood off your face with disgust. When is this going to end? Yeah, okay, so I'm not gonna do 1, I'm not gonna do 5 or 4. I'm gonna look up to the face. Blood falls into your eyes. Okay, yeah, I could have guessed this one. I actually could have guessed this one. Blood falls into your eyes. You hiss in pain, but raise your head. Through a red mist, you glimpse a harsh truth in the Emperor's face. Death sees you. Death is watching you. Could the lingering intoxication still be playing tricks on your mind? A strange rash you developed in the phrase-line pestilence pit grows pale and scabs over. A healing grace descends upon you. Nice. That rash is gone. Some people need to go to a doctor for it, but apparently this was good enough. If Vizier's voice goes suddenly thunderous and snaps you out of your reflections. Death has accepted you, Domin Seth. Now and for all time. You are the Blood Warden and the Undying One's most venerable servant. Blood Warden? Very flattering. I will add it to my other titles. Now that you are part of the Bloodspun web, remember henceforth to beware of vanity, for it leaves gaping rents in the armor of our souls. It felt as if the God Emperor was watching me. Too many. He comes during their time of service, in images of blood and whispers from the shadows. But remember that those are mere visions, for true death will not come for you until your time, and it will take your soul gently in its bony hands. So the ritual is complete. The ritual is complete, but you are not. The Vizier gestures for one of the cultists, who is carefully holding a strange garment, to come closer. For years you have maintained fealty to the Domini. We have collected sacred symbols and relics. You are the first in 3 generations of lords and ladies who grace this sanctum, and the first of them all to be initiated so. We are grateful. We are uplifted in spirit. Hear our exultation and accept this gift of investment sown from the bones of his faithful with the threats of death. Oh god. Nice. The cultists whisper prayers to the Undying One as they help you change your clothes and regain your faculties. Nice. I just got an achievement for that. A crimson torrent flows from the statue's hands, a symbol of the countless deaths offered to in his name. Just imagine how many people need to die to keep that fountain going. That's a lot of blood.
Experience. Nothing matters more.
Nice.
The shrouded faith of the blood-spun web. It is both frightening and awe-inspiring.
As is the fact that they have managed to claim a whole compartment to themselves, and the officers somehow fail to notice. I shall conduct an inspection.
Of course you're going to conduct an inspection. Wow, that was interesting. Does he have anything else for me? The Vizier's head trembles with the infirmity of age, and his lips utter barely audible words meant for those only he can see. Domin Set has honored us with a visit. We are glad. First winner. Peace, Koala. You are the shield, you are the shadow, you are the blade, so be it. Well.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
Time to go back to the bitch. Oh, a spinner, his face covered in carved, bleeding glyphs, makes a respectful gesture of invitation. Let me show you the way. Okay, show me the way. Let's go back to the bitch. Yeah, it's 11:30 here, and I have to work tomorrow. So I'm gonna be saving here, and I will continue sometime soon. Let's see, save. So yeah, thanks for everyone that joined and was watching. I hope you had fun, and yeah, if I don't see you again, take care of yourself. And if I do see you again, I hope you also take care of yourself, and that I hope you have a good time. Please take care. Good night.